So the 3 most common mistakes that people make when applying to become a flight attendant is 1, not having the attitude of a flight attendant, 2, not being prepared for the interview, and 3, not knowing how to market yourself as a flight attendant. Hey y'all, hey, my name is Gigi. I'm a mainline flight attendant here on YouTube, your favorite flight attendant here on YouTube, and today I'm here to help you with your interview process as well as avoiding 3 common mistakes when applying to become a flight attendant. So I'll go ahead and give y'all a little bitty preview before we get into the video, just so you know if this is something that you want to stay tuned for. So the 3 most common mistakes that people make when applying to become a flight attendant is 1, not having the attitude of a flight attendant, 2, not being prepared for the interview, and 3, not knowing how to market yourself as a flight attendant. But if you want to get the inside scoop on all of these concepts and how to really secure them, be confident, and pursue your dream as a flight attendant, go ahead and stay tuned. Before we hop into the video, please give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and share this video with a friend, and remember to subscribe to my channel. This is a new series that I am doing on the channel. It's the flight attendant application process. I'll be going in depth on everything from the application process, the interview process, the training process, and even once you make it onto the line as a flight attendant, how to prepare and be successful based on my personal experience as a former regional flight attendant and now a mainline flight attendant. I will catch y'all in the video. Bye. Alrighty, y'all. The first mistake that people commonly make when applying to become a flight attendant is 1, not having the attitude of a flight attendant. Now, how can I expect you to have the attitude of a flight attendant if you've never been a flight attendant before? Listen, I know it doesn't make sense right now, but I'm going to make it make sense, I promise. So the first way you can apply or instill or project or display the attitude of a flight attendant is 1, through your resume. Ensuring that your resume is conducive with the resume of a flight attendant. One way you can do this is by looking up examples of flight attendant resumes on Google. It's free, totally accessible to everyone. When creating your resume is 1, highlighting safety, highlighting your ability to travel, also highlighting whether or not you have been a flight attendant before. If you have previous experience, go ahead and throw that on there. Another really important thing when conducting or creating your resume is SEO keywords. SEO stands for search engine optimization. In this day and age, 2025, everything is ran by AI, okay? So whenever you're applying to become a flight attendant, when you submit your resume, it's gonna go through a search engine that is conducted by computer systems, AI, and they're gonna look for certain words. These words consist of safety, teamwork, ability to work independently, passport, willingness to relocate. When you have these important key points in your resume, the AI system is like, hey, those are the keywords that we're looking for. Let's go ahead and pass it along to the hiring team. Being able to relocate. When you are applying on your resume, you want to put in there at some point that you have the desire or you are willing and able to relocate to base if needed. Also in the application itself, it will ask, are you willing to relocate? You always want to say yes. I actually have a very in-depth video on my channel. I'll go ahead and link it right here. It gives you the whole rundown on how to create your resume, important points to put on your resume, important SEO research, also other common mistakes that are made, and just ways to really like maximize your potential when applying to become a flight attendant, okay? Point number 2, the video interview. Not being yourself professionally, okay? So during the video interview, you have gotten to a point where you've submitted your resume. They think you're a good candidate, and now they're moving you along because they want to see your face. They want to put a face to a name. They want to get to know you. Now, the video interview is always really, really awkward because you're going to be talking to a camera. You're going to be talking to your webcam, to your cell phone, whatever, and it's really odd kind of answering questions when you're not actually engaging with someone. A big tip when it comes to your video interview, if you're nervous or you don't really care to talk on camera, you can take a picture of a friend and you can put it behind your camera, and you can just pretend that you're having the conversation with your best friend or your mom or someone you're super comfortable with. That's a really great way to show that you are comfortable and also make it a little easier for you to showcase your personality in the video interview. Another thing that's really important when conducting your video interview is you want to ensure that your appearance is spectacular, and always remember to smile. Now, when I say make sure your appearance is spectacular, ladies, when you're putting on your makeup, you want it to look very clean, very professional, very modest. You want to have nice modest length eyelashes, a nice natural lip color or a red lip color. You want to not do any eyeshadow. You want your hair to be very nice, neat, very presentable. Small pearls or smaller earrings. You don't want anything big or gaudy or anything that will take away from the essence of you. Men, whenever you are doing your video interview, you want to make sure that you are clean shaven, or if you have a beard, it's nice and trimmed. Your facial hair is very neat. Your eyebrows are also very neat. You want to make sure that your nails, they don't have to be manicured, but you do want to make sure they're clean. And you also want to make sure that you have on clean, professional clothing. Okay, ladies, you too. Next, when you are setting up for your video interview, you want to have a nice, clean background in a very quiet environment. I'm a little extra, so when I did my video interview, I actually had a ring light set up. I had my makeup done. I had on a button-up t-shirt, a blazer. I had on a simple gold necklace, as such, only one, pearl earrings, and a gold watch. In my video interview, I don't even think they were able to see like my hands. I talk with my hands a lot, so I made sure to keep my hands under the camera view as to not distract the interviewers while I was conducting the interview, if you will. Secondly, I use the STAR format. The STAR format is so crucial in your interview process. Essentially, this is the way that you respond to your questions, and this is important for the video interview as well as the in-person interview. Now, the STAR format, it stands for situation, tasks, actions, and results. In my previous video, I'll link it here, I did give a very in-depth overview of the STAR format, including tips, tricks, and examples. So if you're interested in that, please check that video out and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. But in the STAR format, essentially what you're doing is when you are asked a question, you repeat the question in a specific format while answering the question. Check out my previous video for more information on the STAR format, how to utilize it to your best ability, and how you can make it work for you. The next common mistake during the video interview is not stating clear career goals. So something that is very, very important to a company when they are hiring potential candidates or interviewing potential candidates is your investment into the company as well as your career. I'm not sure if this is common knowledge, but it's very, very expensive when companies onboard employees. They have to pay for the background checks, drug screenings. They also have to pay for training, and then also just new hire initiatives when you actually become an employee and you come on the line. So when you are able to reiterate your long-term career goals with the company, that makes them more confident and feel more comfortable that you would be a great asset. Example of this, when I was a regional flight attendant and I was doing my interview, this was my in-person interview at the hiring event, I sat with this really sweet lady named Kathy, and she was like, how long do you see yourself being a flight attendant? My legit answer was, I see myself being a flight attendant until I retire. This is my dream job, and this is something that I want to do until the day I retire. Although it was a simple response, it was a very direct response, and it showed my interest and my commitment not only to the company, but to my career and my role as a potential flight attendant. I will say Kathy was very pleased. She had been a flight attendant for about 20 or 30 years at that point. Another way that you can follow up with that is you can discuss your reasoning for your career goals. So in that same interview, she asked, why are you interested in becoming a flight attendant? What interests you about the aviation industry? I shared about my personal experience. I'm biracial and I come from a very multicultural family. My mother is African American, my father is French, my stepmom and my little brother are from Ecuador. I explained how I grew up in a multicultural household with many different cultures, many different languages, and it gave me a very unique appreciation for other cultures, for other religions, for other walks of life. And I've always been a lifelong learner when it comes to cultures and different ways of life around other people. In addition to that, I studied sociology in college, which is the study of people and how they interact with each other, how they interact amongst cultures, differences between cultures, respecting them, honoring them, etc., etc., etc. Right? So me getting into the aviation industry, where I get the opportunity to interact with people from all different walks of life, pay respect to them, learn from them, and also share about my culture, is totally aligning and fitting. Now, that is unique to me. That doesn't have to be your response, and if it's not unique to you, that's totally okay, but you have to understand your reasoning why. Please avoid saying that I like to travel, or I want to see the world, or I like y'all's destinations. That's a very vague answer, and it's not really, it doesn't offer the substance or the investment that the company would be looking for as they fill their flight attendant positions. I hope that makes sense. Third, last but not least, your in-person interview. The most common mistake people make during the in-person interview is not having the ability to market yourself. And the last example I gave, where I was talking about my career goals and my reasoning why for becoming a flight attendant, how it was directly tied to my experiences and my cultural background growing up, as well as what I chose to study in college, that is a great way for me to market myself. Outside of that, some other ways that you can market yourself during your video interview is, one, being yourself professionally, showing your personality. If you are extroverted and you're bubbly, it's totally fine to be that. Just make sure that you're speaking in a way that is articulate and professional, and really try to avoid using slang. I will not lie, that was my biggest struggle. That was my biggest struggle. Next, remember to smile, engage, listen, and follow directions. We're going to touch on each of these. So something that a lot of people don't know, when you get to your face-to-face interview, the moment you step on company property, the moment you step into the door, your interview begins. Walk in with a smile, a pleasant disposition, be approachable, be friendly, and engage with others. One of the most difficult things for me during my face-to-face interview, it was about a 3-hour process. And although I'm very extroverted and I enjoy engaging with others, I do need my time to rejuvenate myself. So the most difficult part for me during my video interview was constantly engaging and talking to everyone throughout the interview, from other candidates to recruiters to other flight attendants that were there and the interviewees. But I understood it was very important because your day-to-day is going to be engaging with hundreds of people every day for days at a time for hours on end, and they want to see how well you're able to do that, right? So remember to smile, to be approachable, engage with others, and also listen to what others have to say. It's good to talk about yourself and share about yourself, but it's also really important to listen, right? Speaking of listening, when you're at your face-to-face interview, it is so important to follow instructions. So important. If they tell you to line up in a certain order, if they tell you to put your name tag on a certain side of your shirt, if they tell you to wear a certain appearance, make sure that you are following those instructions to a T. Next, you want to make sure before you get to your interview that your appearance is A1. Most airlines will give an appearance guideline on what to wear when you get to your interview. If they recommend wearing a blue pantsuit, a black pantsuit, a pencil skirt, a blazer, a dress, a collared shirt with a tie, and a suit jacket, be sure you have on one of those items, right? I know that when you get to the face-to-face interview, it can be hundreds of people and you really want to stand out, but this is the thing. When we are being hired as flight attendants, we are being hired, sorry y'all. Sorry. I'm recording this and my window is open and someone is like right across the building from me and they peeked out of their window and they're kind of staring, so I figured I would smile. Okay, back on topic. So whenever you are going to your your in-person interview, yes, you want to stand out, but allow your personality to stand out for you, okay? Not so much the appearance, because as flight attendants, we do have to be in compliance with our uniform. And when you show up to that video interview, if you are not following the standard guidelines they give you for an interview, that is a surefire way to show the company that you will not abide to uniform compliance when you're on the line. Next, your attitude determines your latitude, okay? your mindset is going to map out how far you get during this process. When I went to my face-to-face interview, I literally spoke nothing but positive affirmations over myself and my journey. From the moment I woke up that morning, my cousin prayed for me, my grandmother prayed for me, I prayed for myself, and one of the big things was I just kept telling myself, I will be leaving this interview with the CJO. I will be leaving with the CJO. I will be aligned with individuals who are well suited for me. I will be able to highlight my skills and my personality, and they will see the best in me and see that I am a great candidate. You do not want to have a slither of doubt when you walk into that interview. And I know this is probably the most difficult part of the entire process, because fighting against your own thoughts can be so debilitating and daunting at times, but you have to focus on the outcome that you desire. You have to see yourself in that outcome, okay? Imagine yourself as a flight attendant. Imagine yourself getting your CJO. Imagine yourself taking your first flight. Imagine yourself in training. Whatever it is that you have to do, imagine yourself on those cool layovers in Cancun or Jamaica or in London or in Amsterdam. Whatever it is, put yourself in that moment, okay? And hold on to that thought, hold it in your heart, and move accordingly in alignment to that. I hope that makes sense, and I hope I didn't go off on too much of a tangent. The final mistake that people make during their in-person interview is not doing research on the company that you are applying to. My favorite line is, competence brings confidence, okay? When you're knowledgeable about the company's core values, about the standards that they have for their employees, about the reputation they have in the industry and how they show up for their passengers, you are the most prepared because you can align with those core values. And the best piece of advice is sliding in those core values into your interview process. When I interviewed for my current airline, they asked, why did I want to join this particular company? And in my answer, I said, I want to join this company because I love that it prides itself on perseverance. Throughout the years, it has not only been able to adapt and pivot to changes going on around the world in regards to the economy, but it was also persistent when it was facing financial bankruptcy. In addition to that, the company prides itself on integrity. I'm really big on integrity because it's not about what you do in front of other people, but it's about the things that you do and how you carry yourself when no one is looking. And I really enjoy that those are key points to the company's brand and overall essence, and those are values that align closely with my own, and I would love to be able to implement those while I'm at work and when I am a representation of the company. I hope this video helped. I hope that I was able to give y'all some really good advice on common mistakes that people make during the interview process. If you have any questions or if you'd like me to go more in depth, please drop a comment below. Feel free to shoot me an email if you'd like. As I said, this is a series that I will be conducting. So if you have video topics that you would like me to make a video on coming up, feel free to drop a comment below. I love you. And before y'all leave, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you made it all the way to this point, I want you to drop a comment below and just type future flight attendant, because I know and you know that you are on your way to the friendly skies, and I cannot wait to see you out there. If you ever decide to become a flight attendant, please come to Detroit. That's where I am. I'll get to see you and we can chit chat. Just kidding. You do the base that works best for you. I love y'all. I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Bye.